Hey mates, I'm Alex.
And I'm Gaston.
Welcome to Power Mates.
This is the place to learn and share about Fabric and Power Platform. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this channel with your friends and colleagues. So, here we are again. Hey, mates community. Today, we will be covering a topic that we've been asked so far a lot from the audience. uh, Clients, colleagues, MVPs, they've been asking about this. And this is going to be a step by step process on how to set up your own Fabric environment. Is that even possible? What do you need to know? What are the prerequisites around that? Tell me, Alex.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be interesting, and I'm going to help you out with the overall process, Gaston. Do you mind?
No, that sounds pretty cool. Let's start with the steps. First of all, to join the Microsoft 365 developer program. That is the very first step.
Okay, yeah. It's super easy. Let's head over my machine. So we can start with the process on how to create the Microsoft 365 developer environment. So, okay, as you can see here, I'm just access to developer.microsoft.com. Okay, that's the URL. That is going to land you on this page. So, as you mentioned before, we want to create a developer tenant and show the Microsoft 365 developer program. So here, you can see here, start building with this Microsoft product. So we are going to select Microsoft 365, okay? Of course, if you are seeing that video, you can browse directly to developers.microsoft.com/Microsoft 365. That's okay. But in the meanwhile, if you want to follow the path, you can access to the main page and then select Microsoft 365.
Hey,
And
wait,
here,
Alex.
yeah,
One thing around that.
yeah.
This is kind of one of the major questions. Do I need an account to go to that page? Do I need to sign with any account? Can I use my personal account, perhaps?
That's a very interesting question, and the answer is yes. You need a Microsoft account. That means you need the Office 365 account or a Hotmail account or Live account or Outlook account, whatever account you have, but from the Microsoft side of things, of course. And then
Awesome.
you just going to log in on this page and start the whole process. Okay.
Sounds great.
Okay. So we land on this page. Of course, as you can see here, I'm already logging, but I'm logging with an account that we use for another community we have with Gaston, Ashford, and Elbar, but it's the same thing. It's a Microsoft account, and that is the point. Okay. And then you can scroll down and you are going to find join our programs. And here, join the Microsoft 365 developer program. And you need to click on join the developer program today. So click on join now. And this moment, you need to start creating your account, setting up your account and your tenant too. Okay. So let's select country region just for plain purpose. Let me create Canada because I'm in Toronto right now. The company would be PowerMates. Language preference English. Okay. And accept terms and condition. Today I don't want to receive emails, but you can select that if you want to get information on what is happening on the community. That's a good point if you are new in the community. So then it's like couple of questions just to know more about you or what you want to do with your tenant. So we are going to work on personal project. Let's see. And we are interested in the Power Platform, Graph, and Copilot. Okay, that's okay. And I'm not a robot. Okay, I'm going to select here stairs. I suppose the hand is our stairs too. Motorcycles. Here, more motorcycles. Okay, I'm not a robot. I maybe look like a robot, but I'm not a robot. Okay. So let's click on save. So here we are. We have created, the Microsoft 365 developer program here. So now we have created the developer plan. So now we need to set up the E5 subscription. So we click on set up E5 subscription. We can select intent sandbox or configurable sandbox. I would recommend to use the intact sandbox because you don't need to configure anything. The portal is going to create everything for you, so you don't need to worry much about that. So, but if you are used to work with setting up tenant, you can select configurable sandbox too. Okay, so click on next. So here, North America, okay. Admin username, Alex Powermates. Let's create a password here. Remember that the password has to be between 15 and 20 characters length, using capital letters, using some symbols, and use alternative password for the 16 fictitious users. That is because you are going to create Microsoft 365 E5, tenant and subscription. So you are going to have the admin user, but also 16 additional Office 365 account that you can use with an alternate password if you want. Now we are going to go forward and go straight right now, but you can also select a different password, different from the admin one. So you can be the admin and you want to share with your pal, so you can use another different password for that. Click on continue. Then you're going to choose the Visual Studio subscription, and then click on continue to. And here you need to verify your identity, and the way to verify identity is a phone number too. Something to keep in mind: if you can only register one telephone number. So if you create a developer program account, let's say with a Outlook account, and use your telephone number, and then you say, okay, I'm going to create another one using my Hotmail account, but you're going to use the same telephone number, that is not going to work. Okay, so here I'm going to select the country. Just for demo purpose, I'm going to use Uruguay here. I'm going to use another number here. And click on send call. That should send you a text message as usual. And you just need to enter the code and click on setup. That could take a couple of minutes, of course, or no. As you can see here, the subscription was already created. We have the E5 subscription. The E5 is active. We have the administrator here with the name Alex Powermate as admin, at the name, sorry, the name of our fictitious tenant on Microsoft.com with some users and licenses. And even we can click on goes to subscription and enter the password, and you can see the subscription. Okay, if you want to use the subscription, sometimes there's going to ask you to activate the two-factor authentication for demo purpose, and I'm not going to show how to activate the Microsoft Authenticator, but you need to install the application on your phone and connect with the application and so on to get everything setting up and in place. So that is pretty much it, Gaston, on how to create the Microsoft developer plan. So now we have the Microsoft 365 developer plan created with the and it's not less important, is the E5 subscription created and activated.
That is great, Alex, and you bring a really great point, an interesting one, that because we activate a new tenant on the developer 365 and that tenant has E5 licenses, let's switch over to my machine to continue that process, because after you get your tenant with developer E5 licensing, I would love to show in my screen that in my case I am using my account to my tenant, my admin account. This is just connected in office.com. I sign in with my developer 365 E5 tenant. And then in the left, you can see that there's an admin option here. So I'm going to leverage this admin option. And within the admin option, I'm going to be able to check on the users, going to active users. In my case, I'm going to leverage my account here, but clicking on every single user, I can check in the right pane what are the license involved for each user. And in our case, because we are following on the Fabric tenants, I can go and check if I have, in my case, a Power BI Pro license. That means that I can go and connect to my Power BI tenant. That is exactly what I need. So in my case, you can see here that I have my Power BI Pro license coming from my Microsoft 365 E5 developer program. So once I did that, I can go and say, hey, let's go to app.powerbi.com, and that allow me to, as an admin of this Microsoft 365 tenant, go into Power BI here. I just connect to app.powerbi.com using my admin on that tenant. In my case, is PowerMate at the domain that Microsoft 365 E5 program developer program give me. So in this case, as a new user, this is my very first time on this tenant on Power BI. I don't have Fabric enabled on this tenant, but I am the admin. So first of all, you can see that I start the process. If you are not starting the process, you can go and click on this option here to start the trial of Fabric. That is the very first thing that you need to do. Starting the trial of Fabric, you are going to get 60 days on this Fabric tenant. And then after you click on this one, you would love to go to these settings here, open the admin portal, and check a couple of options here to be able to create all the artifacts in the Fabric tenant. One of the options is this one that should be enabled for your tenant. So users can be enabling Fabric items, lakehouse, data flows, notebooks, data warehouse, and so on. And also this option all over here that is that users can create Fabric environment and save and apply Spark settings. There is a couple of options you have to have in mind at this point. And then in the left pane, in the capacity settings, you can check that you enable your Fabric trial in your tenant. So go into the capacity settings. If you have an Azure tenant and you want to set up a Fabric capacity, you can go to the Fabric capacity here. In my case, I don't have any Azure portal involved with this account. But I have, in this case, if I hit trial, you can check that I already start my trial version. So remember that first thing first, in your account in the top right, you can start your trial right from here. And then the last task on my end is going to be, I'm going to be going to workspace, going to the new workspace here, and I'm going to do this PowerMates Fabric tenant. And then in advanced, I need to be sure that I connect this workspace backing up with a Fabric trial version. That allow me to create the workspace and link that workspace with that Fabric capacity on trial. So after I'm doing this, I can hit apply, and this is my Fabric tenant up and running. I can click on this option of new and more options to see that all the artifacts are
Nice.
coming right away from the Fabric. So if I need to create, for example, a new lake house, just a matter of clicking on the lake house option here, and I can set up a new lake house in my new workspace, backing up by the Fabric capacity. So Power makes lake house has to be sure that we are creating an artifact in our new Fabric tenant in this workspace. As well, it's important to check that not only that I can create a lake house or any other artifact, also in the left bottom corner here, you can check that I have the option to switch between roles and persona. We've been discussing this in our channel, that if you are coming from a Power BI development or from the data ingestion framework, or you come from a data engineer role, you can start switching roles and personas right away, just clicking on those icons. So what do you think, Alex?
I think that's awesome. No, so and now we see the end-to-end process to create the developer plan, then have in place the E365 E5 Microsoft 365 license, and then activate everything on the Power BI on Fabric side of things. So I think it's a complete example on how to get ready, up and running your own tenant to start just test and playing around. So then, Power Met, that's all for today.
Feel free to stay tuned for more in-depth insights, tutorial, and exciting news right here in our channel. And also comment if you did this process in your own tenant and bring your own tenant, or you have any questions. Feel free to drop those comments below.
Yeah, sure. And as usual, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and join us on this journey.
Together, let's unlock the full potential of Power Platform and Microsoft Fabric.
Yeah.